Now in this segment we are going to see examples on operations on signals. So as far as the first signal is considered, which is given as u of t minus 1. Now in order to sketch such kind of signals we have to perform multiple operations which are going to be performed simultaneously. इस केस में सबसे पहले हम ड्रॉ करने का लिए ट्राई करेंगे u of t. So I am sketching it here. Sketch u of t, that is going to be our unit step signal, and we know its properties. It has an amplitude 1 for the values of t greater than or equals to 0. That means for all positive values of t its amplitude is 1. If it is there, now this signal is shifted by certain delay or time period as 1. Now I already told you, in case of this, just equate it to 0, and whatever the values we'll get, here we are getting the value as plus 1, add 1 to the input signal time period. So the minimum time period that we are having is 0. So if I add 0 with 1, we'll get the new fundamental period to be starting from 1. Now in case of 0 the amplitude is 1, now it is shifted by 1 unit, so here our amplitude is going to be 1. Now from 0 onwards, when I add the value of 1, it will be incremented up to infinity, that is positive value. So we'll get the sketch like this. That means starting from 1 to positive values of t, it will have an amplitude 1. So our signal is shifted by 1 unit. So this is the answer of first signal. So in case of this we have performed only one operation, that is called as time shifting operation. Let us take the second example. In case of this also, we have to first determine u of t minus 1. Already we have determined u of t minus 1, that is shifted by 1 unit to the right side. So from 1 onwards the amplitude is 1. So here we have performed the first operation as time shifting operation. Now this entire signal has to be multiplied by a value minus 2. So if it is multiplied by certain value, definitely we have to perform an operation that is called as amplitude scaling. That means whatever the amplitude is there, it should be multiplied with a given value as minus 2. So based on that, if I multiply 1 with minus 2, our amplitude is going to be minus 2. So this is called as an amplitude scaling operation. So let us draw this signal. Here reference axis will keep as it is. Now it is from 1 to infinity for all positive values of t. So 1 to t. Now instead of 1 the amplitude is minus 2. So we can denote this as minus 2 and it remains minus 2. So this is going to be the answer of second signal. Again we have performed two operations, time shifting and amplitude scaling. Let us consider the third example. This is an example of discrete time signal. Here we have to take difference of u of n plus 2 and u of n minus 3. Now again the first step that comes into mind is we have to draw unit step function u of n. Now to draw u of n, we know its property. So I am drawing u of n first, that is unit step function. Again we know its property. For all positive values of 1 or n, the amplitude is 1. That means from 0 onwards its amplitude is 1. Now first we will draw u of n plus 2. N plus 2 indicates definitely time shifting operation. So I can add it here, n plus 2 as 0, n is going to be minus 2. So we have to add minus 2 to the x-axis parameters. So let us start from the minimum value 0. 0 minus 2 is definitely minus 2. That means from minus 2 the amplitude is 1. Then 1 minus 2 is going to be minus 1. Then definitely it will come with 0. Then it is 1. Then it is 2. And if I take one more value 3, the amplitude is 1. And it remains 1 for all positive values. So this is the sketch of u of n plus 2. Similarly, we have to draw u of n minus 3, u of n minus 3. So equating n minus 3 to 0, we'll get n is equals to plus 3. Simply add 3 to the input signal. Starting from 0, 0 plus 3, definitely our signal will start from 3 now. Amplitude remains 1. 3 के बाद आएगा 4, amplitude 1 रहेगा. बाद में आएगा 5, amplitude 1, and it will be remains 1 till its positive limit as infinity. Now we have to take difference of these two signals. So let us start. Here it is starting from minus 2, amplitude is 1. Here it is not defined minus 2, definitely amplitude is 0. So 1 minus 0 is going to be 1. So as far as the sketch is considered, for minus 2 the amplitude is 1. Next, minus 1, 1, this is 0. 1 minus 0, again 1. Then 0, amplitude is 1. 1 minus 0 is going to be 1. 1, the amplitude is 1. 1, the amplitude is 0. So we'll get this term as 1. 2, amplitude is 1. 2, amplitude is not defined. So 1 minus 0 is 1. Now if I come across 3, amplitude is 1, and 3, its amplitude is 1. So 1 minus 1 is going to be 0. Now we will get for 3 the amplitude is 0. Now from 3 onwards, if you observe it carefully, all the values are 1, and from 3 onwards all the values are 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. That means 3 onwards the amplitude is going to be 0. So this will be the sketch or the operation u of n plus 2 minus u of n minus 3. Now if it is there, we'll go for the next some typical example. Here it is. They are given us an output signal y of t, which is obtained by performing operations on the given signal. Here the input signal, they are given reference as x of t, which is given in a sketch like this one. Now in order to obtain y of t, let us check which kind of operations we have to perform. X of t is already given, that is fine. Now we have to sketch x of 2 minus t, और इसका जो भी result आएगा we have to add with each other. Now this addition we have to multiply with u of 1 minus t. So as per as the different operations are going to be performed, first we have to determine or we have to sketch x of 2 minus t. So in order to define x of 2 minus t, if you look at closely, the first term that we should have to initialize is going to be x of minus t. So हम सबसे पहले फर्स्ट स्टेप में ड्रॉ करेंगे x of minus t को. x of minus t is nothing but time reversed operation. That means folding the input signal about t is equals to 0. So जो पॉजिटिव वैल्यू t का है वो नेगेटिव हो जाएगा, जो नेगेटिव वैल्यू है वो पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा. सो लेट अस स्केच दिस सिग्नल नाउ. रेफरेंस एक्सिस को ऐसे रखने का, दैट मीन्स t0 will remain as it is. Now let us fold positive values. 0 to 1 we have amplitude 1. Now it becomes 0 to minus 1. 1 to 2 amplitude was plus 2. It will get this value for minus 1 to minus 2. And from 2 to 3 it becomes minus 2 to minus 3. Now let us sketch it. 0 to 1, if I connect this line, we'll get a term having amplitude 1. Next, it is rising at remains 2. That means from 1 it will increase and it will remains 2 till minus 2. And in between 2 to 3 we are having a negative slope. So I can draw that negative slope maybe like this one, having this particular value as minus 1. This is plus 1 and this is 2. Now negative value minus 1 to 0, it becomes 0 to 1. Here we are having a slope which is rising and we will denote this like this one. So this is going to be our x of minus t. Once you got x of minus t, we have to shift this signal by plus 2 units. That means we have to add 2 to the input t. So let us draw, or we'll write it here. Shift x of minus t by plus 2 units. Add करेंगे. let us see this one, minus 3 to minus 2 ka range, minus 3 plus 2, it becomes minus 1. So if you draw it in a proper way, now the range we'll get is what? Minus 1. Minus 2 plus 2 is going to be 0. In this range we have a triangle. In simplified language we are getting this particular term. Now next, minus 1 plus 2 is going to be 1. In this range the amplitude is considered to be 2, so it will rise. Here it is up to 2. Then 0 plus 2 is going to be 2. So in that range there will be decrement in amplitude. It remains 1 up to 2. Lastly, 1 plus 2 is going to be 3, where we are getting a negative slope, or the slope is decreasing. Sure, the sketch is like this. So this is 1 and this is our x of 2 minus t. Now once you got this term, we have to add these two terms, x of t with x of 2 minus t. Now let us see the third step, which is x of t plus x of 2 minus t. Let us add it with the given terms. Start with this. X of t is defined from minus 1 to 0. This is minus 1 to 0. Fine, sir. In minus 1 to 0, here we have a positive slope 1. Here we have a negative slope minus 1. So 1 minus 1 is going to be 0. That means there is nothing for minus 1 to 0. Fine, sir. Next, 0 to 1. Now in case of 0 to 1, here amplitude is 1, and for 0 to 1 here the amplitude is 2. So 1 plus 2 is going to be 3. That means the amplitude is 3. Next, 1 to 2, here it is amplitude 1. 1 to 2, here the amplitude is 2. 2 plus 1 is again 3. So we'll extend the same line. Amplitude is 3. Next, 2 to 3, if you see, here negative slope, here it is positive slope. So minus 1 plus 1 is 0. That means 2 onwards, now the amplitude will remain 0. So this is the indication that it is going to be 0. So this is the addition result. Now if it is added, we'll go for determining this one, u of 1 minus t. Now in case of u of 1 minus t, first we have to sketch u of minus t. So first I am just drawing it here. Draw unit step signal as u of t. We know its property. Amplitude is 1 for all positive values of t. Next step, we will draw u of minus t by folding about t is equals to 0. So if you fold about t is equals to 0, you can see all positive values becomes negative. So from 0 to minus t, its amplitude is 1. Now once you got u of minus t, we have to shift it by 1 unit, that is plus 1 unit. So we'll write shift u of minus t by plus 1 units. Now let us start with the known value 0. 0 plus 1 is going to be 1. That means the upper limit in this case will be 1, and the lower limit, suppose it is minus infinity plus 1, obviously minus infinity. So it will start from the negative values and it ends at plus 1. Here it is, I am putting this as minus t. So this is going to be our u of 1 minus t. Now the last step, we have to multiply these two signals. Let us multiply. Now if you see this particular signal, for all negative values of t, the amplitude is 0, and in this case for all negative values the amplitude is 1. So 0 into 1 is going to be 0. That means the last value that we are getting for negative terms is 0. Now let us come across the next range. 0 to 1, here the amplitude is 3, and 0 to 1, here the amplitude is 1. So if I multiply 3 with 1, it is going to be 3. So we are getting 0 to 1, the amplitude is 3. Now next, 1 to 2, here it is 3, and here it is not defined, that means definitely 0. So 3 into 0, 0. That means from here onwards the amplitude is 0. So this will be our output signal as 550. So this is how we can perform multiple operations on the given functions. As per this example is considered, we have performed time reversal, time shifting, addition, again time reversal, shifting, and then multiplication. So we have performed almost all the operations on this particular signal. So you can solve multiple examples again on discrete time signal or on continuous time signals. Thank you.